Hey guys, this is Kino DVT here, and I'm bringing you a ladder TvT between myself and Hint. And I'm going to get this game rolling, opening with a comment that I recently decided to start playing in low, and it's really improved my frame rate. I realized I've been playing on about 13 to 16 frames when I'm in the middle of a battle, and it's really not good for my micro. And with this, I run from between 25 to 60, and that's really good. So I decided to start doing that. If you totally object to my casts being like that, Bubs, I'm not going to change it because it's awesome. The other really good thing is I'm able to do 1080p at 25 frames per second this way, whereas normally I do like 9 frames a second 1080p running on medium. So it really improves the quality of the casts in that respect, so I'm not going to change it. Now, given that the early parts of this is completely dull, I'm just going to keep going with whatever the hell I like. Both players do not rush, so it tends to be a bit of an early game fun fest, really, and nothing particular happens. We've got Hint laying down his barracks at 12, and I believe I laid my barracks down at 12. He just laid it down 10, 20 seconds earlier before me. Now, he manages to scout in the correct... No, wait. Neither of us scout in the correct position. And so we both end up scouting the complete opposite direction and not knowing what the hell is going on for ages. Now, I have an advantage because I rolled into this game random, so he actually has no idea what race I am until this worker and this worker will collide here-ish. Now that's if he watches for it. If he doesn't watch for that, then he will not know what I am until he actually scouts me. Now, for all he knows, he's about to get six-balled, but that's not going to happen. I'd also like to point out the very friendly banter that went on between us. You can pause and read that if you wish, but not particularly important. So I've been getting my butt kicked on ladder at the moment. I'm on like a 9 losing streak. I just broke it like half an hour ago with 2 wins in a row, I think. So this was one of the losing streak games, and the reason I'm casting it is because it shows a exceptionally good strategy in bronze. And that was something that really shocked me. When this guy kicked my ass, I looked at him and I was like, why are you in bronze? It made no sense. The strategy was executed perfectly, and maybe I just wasn't playing well, but from my perspective, he kicked my ass. He just did everything right. Now, admittedly, he is lacking behind macro and my macro at the moment. He's got 15 for 14. We both have a mule and we both have 1 marine. I'm a little ahead on 19 supply. He's on 18. So, and as we can see, I have 2 more harvesters, and that equates to about a 50 steady income difference of about 50. Now, the reason both our incomes are so high is because of the mules. Now, I do have a couple of marines here, and I was going to try and irk a little bit of a push, but I did see he had a barracks and nothing was going to happen with it, basically. So yeah, it was a good game, and I felt that he played it really well, and I, to an extent, didn't. So, just pumping out of 1 barracks, keeping up production. Gonna lay down a bunker to see if we can hold this early expo that I'm taking. I'm more of a macro player rather than a 1 base player. I really don't like the idea of 1 base. It kind of bugs me. 1 base is where I suck. 2 base, 3 base, 4 base is where I thrive. Now, that's not to say I'm perfect, like I keep my money down 24/7. No, I don't do that. But I do spend more time macroing, and I enjoy that, and I'm better at that than most people for my level of skill. Now, that being gold level, so nothing particularly important. Now, we do see stim and no other upgrade being researched out of this 2 tech labs. Now, it is semi-obvious that this player is in bronze in a couple of places. I mean, this leftover worker here, the fact that was a little bit behind in supply. He's now ahead of me. However, this could be just because he's pumping out Marauders and I'm pumping out Marines. I'm also putting down a factory to go for a Thor. The one strategy that has worked for me a couple of times over the last couple of days is early expand, 2 racks, 1 factory, 1 starport. Then once you get your third base, 4 armory, and you push full upgrades on Thors and battlecruisers. Thors, battlecruisers, and marines. I have not, when it gets running, I have not actually been beaten, and I've pulled it off about 3 or 4 times. And it's kind of evil, because they don't know whether to attack the Thors or Marines. And when you're on a couple of bases with orbital commands, you tend to have a mule or 2 ready. And I've just been dropping down mules in the middle of my army and using them as repair bots, and it's been brilliant. So I was trying to do that this game, and I came up with a strategy which beat me. And it was perfect, it was very well executed, and he deserved the win. So we do see the third racks factory and starport. At this point, if I was just observing, I would be a little confused. I don't really understand where the starport's coming from, why, because you cannot produce tanks, 2 tech lab, and marines off 1 base. You just can't. And let's just not count the fact that it's not fully saturated as well. So it's just not possible. But having played the game and knowing what's coming from this starport, I could see the logic behind it. So that there is method to the madness, which is always very important. Now we do see a siege tank coming out, and this strategy is a little weak to air, but Terrans do not normally rush air. Now Banshee rushes do happen, but they don't happen much or at all. Sorry, I had to move the microphone. They do not happen much or at all at my level of player. When you're a gold player, it just doesn't happen. Now, we do see a push coming out across the map. This is quite scary. It is going to be quite a powerful push. He does have siege. He will have another tank and 2 more marauders and 2 more marines. So it's going to get quite big quite fast. Now, on the other end of that, I have... let's see. I have many marines and a Thor. So I'm going to try and beat these guys because I really don't actually want them sieging up. And this is where the starport comes into play. He uses it to gain sight. And 1 shell, 2 shell. I'm now at a massive disadvantage. And here's my first big mistake. I went back after him, and as you watch, tank gets another shell, couple more kills. This one tank has 8 kills. That is not good. So at the moment I'm defending with a full bunker and a Thor against this. Really not looking good. And I'm trying to pump out marines and another Thor, but it's really not working for me. And you could have GG'd at this point, but I wasn't sure if he'd be able to push. And he did use a scan. Kind of bad micro on my point with that Thor. But I figured maybe if I could get the high ground, I could take out his tanks. Not to happen. Instead, he just pones me, and this is pretty much the point where it's all over Red Road and not much I can do. I decided to get my marines in that bunker, but again, not much I can do. He's got 3 tanks. I'd like to draw attention to this tank placement just here. Let's watch this tank placement. This is just amazing. Look here. He gets sight on my thing. He gets this entire section of my ring. And then another tank here, just to make it pretty. This tank placement is just perfect. And you'll notice that this starport just gives him the perfect vision. He can just see up there and stop anything from picking him off from up there. It's wonderful. It is the perfect tank placement. And then when the third tank comes along, you've still got staggered placement. You don't have all your tanks sitting in one place, which is when you start getting into trouble. So this is Keno TvT, and I lost. He beat me. I did think maybe if I did a repair on my Thor, it would be able to push it off, but not really. This is Keno TvT signing off. No, wait, I haven't showed you the scores yet. Quit replay. Let's do this. One of the things I have been quite impressed is the sheer difference in high and low. Sorry, high and low, medium and low. My computer's gone from 16 frames ish to 25 to 50. Like, if you have a bad computer, almost anything, and why the hell did I do this? Almost anything can run StarCraft on low. And like, it increases your performance in the menus, because you'll notice all this area back here is graphics. So we're just going to have a look at that game match history. Hold up. How have you guys been going for season 2? I haven't been doing amazingly, but I like it. I do like the split up of the seasons. Some people have been telling me they don't, but personal preference, I do. So as you can see, really not going well at the moment. Would like to go back. Yeah, let's count shitloads. I don't think we really need to say more than that. Is this the particular game? No, it is not. Come on, where is it? It was... I have no idea what that map was, to be honest. Not Alta. Delta Quadrant? Well, it was today, so it's got to be Backwater Gulch. Here we go. So, economy-wise, resources, we're pretty much similar. If we go to the resource collection rate tab, I'm ahead of him, so he was able to catch up in the brief interval where I was not mining, i.e. here. From here onwards, I was not mining, the game just didn't pick it up, and that's where he was able to catch up. But he was slightly ahead, units-wise, whooped my ass. Look at the army value tab, that kind of just says it all. The Thor kind of spiked it, and having 2 Thors, I would have been able to get above that and maybe hold it off, don't know. Economy breakdown, average unspent resources, again towards the end, not as good. Collection rate, workers. So this is a very committal push, and he's not covering himself for... If I had pushed back this attack, he would have been in real trouble. So, this is Kano TvT, signing off. I will be bringing you some more games very, very soon. Rigoska's Open is still running. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description below. If you go to my channel, I have linked my channel to his channel, so go check him out. He's doing replays of all, I think, of the Rigoska Open replays, and I think it's going well. I'm doing my game tomorrow, and I'm gonna cast it, see if he'll allow me to do that. We're gonna see if we can do some dual casts. We do have a dual cast up on his channel, so I'd suggest you go check that out. This is Kano DVT. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. There is a thumbs up button and a thumbs down button for a reason. Please use them both. If you don't like my content, thumb it down. But please, if you don't like my content, give me a reason, so that once I know that reason, I can improve. Because I really need some review. I really need some peer comment. I need to know what you guys are thinking. So please comment, whether it's good or bad. Bad criticism is just as useful as good criticism, so please leave both. This is Kano DVT, signing off.